Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. We have another Steel Division 2 cast for you today. Steel Division 2 League Season 2. This is Group 1 or Division 1. And we have a big match for you. US Prestor versus Nilla. And it's the Titans of the US Steel Division League. The big US players, Prestor and Nilla. It's going to be exciting to see how this one develops, and yeah, who wins out in this big engagement. So we have US Prestor deck up on screen. He is playing the 9th Guards Cavalry on Maverick Income. He's on the left hand side in blue, and he is up against Nilla on the right hand side in red, who's playing the 84th Guard Strelkovy, also on Maverick Income. So US Prestor deck, wow, both sides are on Maverick Income. In terms of the 9th Guards Cavalry, it's probably the underdog compared to the 84th Guards. The big question is the IS-2s. Can Prestor handle the IS-2s? He has, let's have a look at his anti-tank capability. Well, let's start off with the OSNAs. So the OSNAs do have the bazookas on them. So he's got 3 of those in A phase. So they can certainly do the job at very short range, up to 250 meters. Outside of that, in A phase, he doesn't really have any other anti-tank capability. Well, he doesn't have anything that can take on an IS-2 frontally anyway. I think in B phase, his options become a lot better. He has the 6 ZIS-2s. B phase, they can definitely be good against the IS-2s. He also has the 4 Lag-3 anti-tank rocket planes in B phase. So he's really got to hope that Nilla doesn't bring out IS-2s before B phase. And if he does, that he parks them right in front of an OSNAS troop so he can get that bazooka off. I think other than that, maybe he can rely on some side shots from the M42 guns or the MCHs. But yeah, I'm not sure Nilla's going to place those IS-2s in a close proximity in a CQC engagement. I think in terms of the 9th Guards Cavalry, they can be decent if you're able to overwhelm an enemy early with a lot of cheap units, particularly cheap infantry units, and obviously cheap Shermans that are the best close quarters tank. But he's coming up against Nilla, who's also playing Maverick Income. So I think the 9th Guards Cavalry, yeah, if you're playing Vanguard Maverick against a balanced deck, they can do a fair bit of damage. They can grab a lot of ground early. But up against a fellow Maverick Income, they can be stunted somewhat. So it's going to be interesting where US Prestor goes with this. He also has the Katusha, which I'm not a big fan of in B phase. It's just not a lethal unit right now, and does a lot of suppression damage, but really not a lethal unit. Let's have a look at Nilla. He is on the right hand side in red, playing the 84th Guard Strelkovy on Maverick Income, and you know, he matches the 9th Cavalry infantry, you know, man for man. He's got 99 units. I think US Prestor had 96 units. I think most of that is due to the B phase Cherno Pizzaniki and then the C phase Guardia. So A phase he can, maybe he's a little outmatched, but I think he has those Strafniki there. They are beefy squads. I think in terms of quality of infantry units, the 84th Guards is probably slightly better, I think, just. Obviously Nilla has the IS-2s, he has 2 in A, which I think Prestor will struggle to deal with, and he has 2 in B, which Prestor will have many more options at his disposal once we get into B phase. So I think this is going to come down to how Nilla uses those early IS-2s, how the early engagements go. Will US Prestor be able to overwhelm Nilla with a lot of cheaper units early on? I think infantry wise Nilla can match US Prestor, but I think if he starts purchasing IS-2s early, then maybe he won't have the same level of income units coming out. But Nilla could easily shut down any advance with those mortars. He's got 6 82mm mortars in A phase, so we'll see whether they play a part as well. Okay, let's head on into the game. So let's just recap. US Prestor John on the left hand side in blue, playing the 9th Cavalry, and Nilla on the right hand side in red, playing the 84th Guards. So it looks like Nilla has the IS-2 in the center area, as well as a combat early on, which is interesting. So only one IS-2 out at the start, and it looks like Nilla's going to concentrate on the center area. He's got a fair bit going up to the north, not so much going in south. US Prestor John, he's got a fair few units here down in the southern area and in the central area, a lot in the southern and central area, a few units up here in the north, but certainly nothing like the amount down here in the southern and central area. So I guess US Prestor John is going to maybe go for this central attack and maybe down south as well. Let's have a look. So yeah, it looks like definitely this central area is where US Prestor John is concentrating, and Nilla, oh, I assume is the center as well. Yeah, definitely the center. Oh, he is putting some units down south, and he's making a somewhat, yeah, he has actually got quite a few units up north as well, or attacking up north. So yeah, it'll be interesting how this one goes. Nilla is going to throw in the smoke with that 82mm mortar. Prestor John drops down a 42mm. Will that be able to get shots off? No, the smoke comes down just in time. Excellent job from Nilla. And wow, look at these units from US Prestor John, just sat there at the moment, not really doing anything. The engagement's coming in. Oh, look. Wow, oh my god. Nilla has pushed through right onto the combat at the back. From US Prestor John, they've gone completely past each other. Unbelievable start, unbelievable start. US Prestor John has just completely gone past Nilla. Nilla went past Prestor John, and somehow Prestor John lost his combat in all of that. What a blow early on in this game. An absolute massive blow for US Prestor John to lose that combat. That's like a 75-point unit at the very start of this game. Unbelievable. It looks like US Prestor John is pushing back with his units, trying to take out the Sapperine. I think they are going to go down. Nilla, I think, has lost this central engagement. Here are these units now coming in from Prestor John. Wow, wow, what an interesting play. He paused them, he held them back, and he's now fast moving them forwards. I've never seen a play like that before, but Nilla has managed to get into this southern area. The IS-2 is now getting into this town. He's taking shots down at the Sapperine PPSH. We've got an OB-25. That's not going to be able to penetrate frontally, that IS-2, and misses its first shot. US Prestor John has almost got the full town. There's just one unit after Machiki, and they can be devils in the houses. But look at this flank by US Prestor John. It's amazing. What an amazing flank from the Sapperine PPSH and the Ogna Machiki. In comes Sherman's into the bottom side as well. Unbelievable flank. This is unbelievable. And he has now captured this central town. What a start from US Prestor John. The major thing though is combat did go down, and actually, yeah, he's lost a hell of a lot of troops in there as well. Down goes the Sapperine PPSH, just one man holding this entire center town, and Nilla is engaging with Sapperine rocks now. That man will not last for long. US Prestor John needs to get infantry troops in immediately, absolutely immediately. I think it's just not going to be quick enough. Nilla pushing forwards under the cover of smoke once again. Nilla very good at smoking off his attacking plays. Osnaz Sapperine are going to try and come in, but they're not going to make it in time. This Ognamachiki is going to go down as soon as Nilla discovers it. Up in the northern side, Nilla has pushed forwards, but US Prestor John has a number of Kazaki there, will engage. Down go the Ognamachiki in the center ground. It gives the city back to Nilla, and the Oznaz Sapere do come in, but they won't hold the front line. They are recon units, so Nilla may well press forwards in this center area. The IS-2 is just rushing straight down the road, has stopped where it is. The OB-25 being engaged by the sniper, and look at all these units now caught behind enemy lines, trying to chase back the sniper and the Aftermachiki. Nilla brought a lot of infantry in to cover off this flag down here, and I think he'll move them forwards on foot. Down in the very southern area, we have 2 Kazaki PPSH taking on a Sapere PPSH. The Kazakhs win and take over the southern ground once again. 12-12 on the flag. Up in the northern side, it looks like the Kazaki are being forced to fall back. There's no leader there that will prevent the surrenders. Nilla's desperately trying to push in the Sapere PPSH, completely outflanking the northern Kazaki, who have pinned down one of the Guardias but will not stand up once this Sapere PPSH comes around with the flank. And US Prestor John just completely backing that one away. There is an M42 gun in there trying to take shots down the road. A lot of OB-25s. So look at the M42 guns. The OB-25 just pushing across the open from Nilla. He is not afraid right now. He's just full on pushing straight across the open. The Oznaz Sapere looks like they have been engaging the Sapere rocks. The IS-2 just firing straight down the road. US Prestor John won't be able to take him out with the M42 gun. The only infantry he's got that can take that down are the Oznaz. The IS-2 is going to be king for a long while still, and US Prestor John's infantry caught behind enemy lines. Although if you can get rid of this Aftermachiki, he will completely pull back this front line. He just needs to find it to be able to get rid of it, and he's currently ground target in the wrong area. That Aftermachiki is going to stay alive for a little while longer. The IS-2 completely commanding control over that central town, and Nilla racing across the open. Would I say racing? Slowly pushing infantry guns and AT guns across the open. Not really racing. The IS-2 is now going cross country, turning off the roads, heading southwards, getting shots onto the Emchers as they come down into the southern area, and they need to avoid the fire of those IS-2s. Looks like they are now going to get the surround onto the Aftermachiki. The front line is going to get picked up by US Prestor John again, and yeah, I think we're going into Prestor John's favour. Just pick up the flag. That's a 13-11 now, and the Emchers are going to start raining fire down. If they can get across this gap in the open without the IS-2 taking them out, they can certainly deal a lot of damage to the infantry units down here. But in comes an IL-237. Oh, the bombs are turned off. He's going in with the 37mm cannons. US Prestor John backs off into the light forest. Has Nilla lost sight of those units? Yes, he has. Yes, he has. He's now flying in to engage the Lag 3 series infantry. The fighter plane, firing head on into that. We're still going to watch the action in the southern side, although Nilla looks like he's bringing a mass of reinforcing infantry into that northern area. The IL-237 is a struggle to take down at the moment from this Lag 3 series, but Prestor John is advancing nicely in this southern side. I think those Shermans are key at keeping those Shermans alive so he can support this infantry push in the south. The Ognamachikis are finally engaging. Down comes the bombs. Wow. Was that the IL-2, or was that may have been some mortar attacks there? Didn't quite see that come in. In comes a fire. Oh, yeah, one bit. He's going to get right on the back. He's going to get right on the back. Yes, and he does shoot down the Lag 3. That opens up the IL-2 once again to concentrate on the Emchers down here in the southern area. As long as he can get sight of them, that is. Down goes one of the infantry units very far south. The Ognamachiki have lost out overall to Nilla's units, but Prestor John still has a number. Look at those Aftermachiki immediately pinned down by all the Kazaki PPSH units in there, and the Ognamachiki take them out as well. US Prestor John does gain a hold of this flag. 13-11 up now in the northern side while we were concentrating on the south. Some infantry did come in. There is an IS-2 up here in the north as well. It's being taken shots at it by the M42 45mm, but the Yeah, there's a lot of OBs here as well, and these can be decent counters to the Emchas because their heat shells don't lose penetration at distance. So they're 90 millimeters of penetration against 100 millimeters of armor at all distances. Still not enough to, you know, fully penetrate, but certainly will give a good chance to those OB-25s to penetrate. And the IS-2 is slowly getting outnumbered by these Shermans, but Nilla has been able to push through in the center ground. There are some Kazaki PPSH here. Will US Prestor John be able to push back with the Kazakis at his disposal? Nilla has got another Guardia Comrotti in here now, so he is going to benefit from the combat, up vetting his Sapri Rocks to 3-star. And down in this southern side, Prestor John still okay at the moment, still okay. Will these infantry, yes, Prestor John unloads them at the right time, although taking immediately flame attacks from the Sapri Rocks and getting decimated there. Also taking fire from the IS-2 Comrotti. Nilla's being, you know, careful not to put that thing too close to anywhere that, you know, a bazooka unit could be. That is the one thing with the 9th Guards Cavalry. They do have the bazookas from the US Lend-Lease program, so they can, you know, unexpectedly fire off a bazooka at fairly decent range. Oh, this M42 gun could have a nice shot here if he was to engage into the side armor of that IS-2, but I think US Prestor John probably hasn't realized that. And 13-11 still to Prestor John. Oof, two of the northern Shermans do go down to the IL-2-37 without the bomb, so using the 37mm. Oh, and down goes the M42 gun as well. The IS-2 is there transmission damaged, but, you know, it's covering a lot of open ground right now. A lot of open ground. Nilla's units that he was pushing all the way across the open ground have gone down. Although, look at these Shermans just one by one being taken out by the IL-2-37. And the final one taken down by the IS-2. That was 6 Shermans in a matter of less than a minute. Look at these Sapri Rocks. I think just 6 men lost from this unit down here, and he's trying to outflank the Kazaki PPSH. He's actually firing down now. Looks like Prestor John will try and engage with the Sapri PPSH, and if he does get in close, he will be able to do it because the flamethrower won't fire. But no, the Sapri Rocks do catch them as they move across the open. Did have the line of sight there. Really good micro from Nilla. Very experienced infantry micro. Zenot 37mm comes in now trying to protect the northern side, but it's a little bit too late. I'm not sure how long that was there for, but it is too late. US Prestor John pushing his infantry across open ground, trying to reinforce his southern position, but he's so far from his supply lines and he can't use the main city to do that. Oh, load of kill on the IS-2. Will the M42 go and get another decent shot in? Load of knockout. That IS-2 has 1 APCR shell left. Sorry, the M42 gets the bounce there, and that M42 gun is going to go down in a moment. The combined fire of the infantry units and the IS-2 hitting that M42 gun, and it does go down. Those IS-2s are still on the field, and they're still able to exert a huge amount of pressure right now. Nilla up to a 59. The Kazaki PTRS-41 not holding any front line up here in the north. US Prestor John has been pushed out of the centre. These Sapri Rocks have been doing a fantastic job in this centre area, and this one's moved all the way down south, look. Look at this Sapri Rocks engaged though. Actually, I think this is a mistake. It won't be close enough. Yeah, the Kazaki PPSH do manage to overwhelm that with the 8 PPSH units, but Nilla has a lot of Cherno Pizzaniki coming in right now. We are into phase B, and it's Cherno Pizzaniki galore for Nilla. 27 Cherno Pizzanikis in phase B. And they certainly don't cost a lot to bring them in. So Cherno Pizzaniki after Cherno Pizzaniki will be Nilla's strategy right now. In comes another IS-2 as well, just to heap even more pressure onto US Prestor John. Into the centre town, Cherno Pizzanikis come. They will be outmatched by the Kazaki PPSH. One of them would be lost in the transport. But I think just in terms of numbers, Nilla will be able to easily overwhelm everything that's there. Look at these Cherno Pizzanikis now. Prestor John cannot hope to beat them with the Kazaki Comrotti on his own. Oh, in comes a Lag 3 rocket. Will that get the strike? Oh, he completely misses the IS-2, completely misses the IS-2. I don't know whether he lost a line of sight in the last second. He must have done, but that was a big fail on the part of US Prestor John. Cherno-Pizaniki's coming into the northern side, and with all of the Shermans gone, the Cherno-Pizzanikis will be able to completely overwhelm US Prestor John. Nilla has cleared up the southern foothold that US Prestor John had, and Kazakis are caught in the open. They will go down momentarily, and look at this Cherno-Pizzanikis just racing through there with the ZIS 5V truck. Look at the swaths of territory it's gaining and may completely surround these southern units and hand another flag to Nilla down here. It's going to be very tight, and Prestor John, his units have been decimated, absolutely decimated. In the northern side, I think 6 Shermans went down. In the central area, he started off with his early combat loss where the troops just completely passed each other by, and then I think the IS-2 in the centre, this one here, has been able to dominate, and look how far forward Nilla's been able to push. 16-8 to Nilla right now. We'll win the game in 13 minutes time, and US Prestor John's going to have a hard time coming back from this position. 2 Emchers racing, you know, trying to come back in and recover, but they're up against an IS-2. If Nilla just pushes this, you know, oh, there goes the surrender. There goes the surrender. 14 minutes, 38 seconds. Wow. Wow. 1,600 kills to 800 losses. And yes, very unexpected. Very unexpected. Yes, I think I was expecting these 2 titans of the US Steel Division community to go at it for a very long time, especially as US Prestor Johnny favours a long-term income like Balanced or Juggernaut. I think the division pick, the 9th Guards Cavalry, they aren't a fantastic division right now. I don't think they're considered a fantastic division, so I'm very surprised by his division pick. Yes, very surprised. And the 84th Guards from Nilla, yeah, they just rode over that 9th Guards Cavalry. I think US Prestor Johnny had a hard time dealing with those IS-2s early on. His Shermans all got shot down by the IL-237. And, yeah. I'm not surprised US Prestor John threw in the surrender at that point. I think that was just he was not going to get back into that game. Nilla had made up so much ground, and they were on the same income, so there wasn't even an income advantage that US Prestor John could have got back with. And the 9th Guards Cavalry, they're a very front-loaded division right now. They are there to overwhelm the enemy early, grab ground, hold on to ground. But you know, Prestor John, he did show that with his early southern flank. Wow, that southern flank was beautiful to watch. I wasn't quite sure what he was doing with those units initially. I mean, he waited for Nilla to commit his units past that point and then completely outflanked him in the southern side. I've never seen a start like that. That was an absolute fantastic start from Prestor John in that southern area to pull off that flank. But then at the same time, in that central area, he lost that combat so early on. Oh, that must have been devastating. It must have been devastating. But wow, just a fantastic game. Just a fantastic game. Look at the kills. This IS-2 Conrotti, the first one in, picks up a lot of kills there. The IL-237 picks up 4 Emchers. The IS-2, I think this is on the northern side, picks up another Emcher as well. Yeah, and that was mostly it, really. I mean, the Sapri Rocks in the centre, they did just a wonderful job. 3 Kazaki units on this one. 3 Kazaki units on this one. Just a wonderful job from those Sapri Rocks. And they were up-vetted to 3 stars, especially this one as well, when it did most of the killing. So Nilla really used those units well, really used them well. I think what he didn't do well is he pushed his OB-25s and his M42s across the center ground, you know, fairly early in A phase, and I feel like maybe that was a little bit reckless. The amateurs did deal with those units fairly effectively. Looks like a sniper took one of them out. Sorry, no, the OB took the sniper out. Where are those units? Wow, just look at the early infantry exchanges. Here we have, yeah, the amateur taking down 2 M42s and OB25. Another amateur taking down 2 OB25. So I think I said during the game that those OB25s can be reasonably good against the amateur, but I think certainly not this time. And maybe it was because they were in the open ground. I think if they'd have been in heavy cover, maybe they'd have had a better chance against the amateur. But yeah, over open ground, I was kind of surprised by Nilla's approach there. I think if we look at the chronology, early on we had a fair few trades. US Prestor John did start to pick up somewhat of an advantage. Here's the amateur kills on those OB25s. But from then on, yeah, just look at the unit kills. Wow! Look at this, from 8:39 to 11:30. So that's what? 3 minutes. US Prestor John didn't kill a unit, and Nilla didn't lose a unit. Nilla did not lose a unit in that 3-minute time period, and that really kicked Nilla into overdrive. And then from 13 to 14 again. I mean, yeah, just look from 8 minutes 39 when that amateur went down. In fact, the last 3 were down here. So from 8 minutes 39 through to the end of the game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kills. That's 6 minutes. In 6 minutes, US Prestor John made 5 kills. And that was it. That was it. Like, from 8 minutes 30, Nilla just bossed this game completely. Absolutely destroyed US Prestor John from 8 minutes 30 onwards. But wow, just a fantastic game to watch. I really hope you guys enjoyed that game. Real excitement. I know it was a short game, but I really did love it. And I think Prestor John, I think he was a little bit unfortunate. I was surprised by his division pick. I think with a better division, he could have come off against Nilla a lot better. US Prestor John is a fantastic player. Definitely a top 5 in the world, I think. So yeah, Nilla really cementing his place on this major scale. Certainly cementing his place in Division 1 of the Steel Division 2 League. That is for sure. Wow, you can tell I am excited. I am pumped after this game. Wow, what a game. Congratulations to Nilla. Commiserations to US Prestor John. I hope to see both of these players in future games. What a wonderful game. What a wonderful game. I will be back with more Steel Division 2 League action, you know, throughout the week. Thanks very much for joining me, guys. Hope you liked this video. If you haven't subscribed, throw me that subscribe, and also check out the links in the descriptions, you know, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon. All of your support is fantastic in any way that it comes. Thanks very much for watching. I am Angry Bird. I will see you next time.